All right, so as promised, I was going to make a video about swapping over the distributor stuff. So this is a OBD2. This would be considered an OBD2A B series. So this would come on, anything that's B series, OBD2 VTEC, so like a GSR, something like that. But really, we just need the body. This one was actually given to me because it didn't have a coil pack in it, and the guy bought it and he didn't realize that it was missing a bunch of stuff. This one is actually off of the factory car. So this is a 99 2000. This plug is from a OBD2B. So this is the plug that we actually need in all the internals. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all this stuff out, and then we're gonna take everything we take out of here and put it in here. And reason why is because I know this distributor is in good shape. It's actually an OEM one. It's got all OEM components, and the wires aren't all jacked up here. The plug is a little messed up, but it was actually messed up on the harness. So, it is what it is. But at least I know all this stuff is good, and all we're gonna do is swap it directly over, and then I'll show you some bits along the way. All right, so we have the VTEC B series housing all stripped down, ready to go. This one will be the one that we are going to put together. Again, we're going to take all this stuff out, put it in here. When I get these apart, I like to clean them, go through, make sure the seal is good, blow out all the debris that's inside there, clean it out real good. This seal was actually in really good shape, so we're going to save that. The inner seal is still good. It looks like it wasn't leaking, so I'm good with that. Now we're gonna mark this. So what I always do is I always center punch this. I center punch one mark on here and then one mark in the center. Do you need to do that? No, you can line it up with that line right there and then this line right here. But again, I just mark it so it's easy for me to reference it outside of the distributor, because that's usually the last thing I put on. So let's get to it. All right, so this is the old Y8 distributor. This is the internals out of it right here, and then we're going to put inside here. So we have the shaft with all the pickups, the magnetic pickups. We have the sensors in here. Everything looks like it's in really good shape. I did notice that this does have some hot spots on it. It might just be from moisture getting inside there, but normally when it has this, it's usually from it expanding, and that's probably going to go out pretty soon, but we're going to use it for now. Because like I said, I know the car was running, everything did work, but that might be an issue later on down the road. So I'm gonna get all this stuff cleaned up and then stick it in here, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we get it all done. Also, one thing I wanted to mention is a lot of these distributors on this bend right here, these wires will actually be exposed. So when you go to clean this, or if you see a lot of grime and stuff built up right here, just be really gentle and don't spray this directly with brake fluid or brake cleaner to clean all that grease off there, because these wires, the sheathing will crack and then the wires will start touching and you'll have a big issue. So if the wires are exposed here, I'd probably find another internal harness, and then like I said, just make sure and don't spray too much brake cleaner on here to clean this off, because those will crack and the sheathing will basically crumble off. So just watch for that. All right, so a couple things I wanted to go over. I did have to use this piece from the original housing. I was going to use this one that was from the Y8 housing, but the bearing is pretty shot on this one, and I know if I kept using this, it's going to start wobbling, and that would have started going out as well. So always check for that. If it spins that free and it makes any kind of noise when you spin it, or it wobbles, it's definitely going bad. The other thing is, since this housing right here, or this inner piece, originally went to these right here, and you can see that down here, normally there'd be like a little nipple piece right here that would fit into the top here, and it kind of like aligns this whole piece. Well, these are actually have the nipples, and they were bigger than what the aftermarket body would allow. So I had to break those off in order to be able to get everything to line up properly. It'll still work fine, but it just doesn't have the alignment that factory one would. Even though the holes were there, they just weren't the right diameter. So I simply just broke the pieces off the bottom of these and then filed it down so it was smooth like this. So basically there's nothing here at all that would fit inside of the little hole piece. You can see it right here. So that hole right there is where one of those alignment little nipples is supposed to go, and then also right here as well. And you can see that they're actually pretty nice, pretty decent, pretty deep. Well, the other one does not have that. And as far as this one as well, you can see that right there is a pretty crisp hole. It's pretty good size. The other one had a little baby hole there and it wouldn't fit inside there. So always double check for that. If it doesn't go together and this piece is cocked up like this, or it's not sitting flat, it's gonna be because of that little nipple thing on the bottom. Anyways, so everything else we're gonna put in. We got everything hooked up, and then I'm gonna finish this up right now. All right, got most of it together. I did want to use this rotor because it does have a metal piece on it. When you rebuild these, a lot of times you'll get the aftermarket ones that don't have the metal piece that's inside there that actually fits over this piece right here. Always try to find the ones with the metal ones. You can see it right there that the screw is clamped down to metal, not plastic. Always try to find the metal ones. Also in here, this had a little bit of corrosion on those little ears, those little pickup tabs. So I went ahead and filed those just a little bit and cleaned that up. So that way I can get this, give it its best fighting chance to be a good distributor, which we all know that have dealt with Hondas that this is an uphill battle, making sure that these things stay in good condition. All right guys, so we skipped a few steps, but we have the distributor on there right now. I haven't plugged it in, but everything, as you can see, this is the harness plug from the harness, and then this is going to be from the distributor. This was the OEM internals, all of them from the original engine that was in here, the Y8, and the original Honda cap as well that we cleaned up that you saw. Got it installed. I have it loose right now just because obviously I'm gonna tighten it down before we start it and all that, but I'm gonna move on to the valve cover, and I've already prepped everything, got it ready, and I'm gonna put Honda Bond right here in these corners. So right here on the back side, right there, back side, same here, right there on the back side. And I'm also going to use just a regular Felpro blue gasket. I've never had issues with these. As long as you fill in those little bitty cracks right there, it always works. And that's really the only place that you should have Honda Bond on. You don't need to put anything here. You don't need to go crazy and over torque it. When the nut stops, it's good. That's all you need. Don't try to over torque them, and we'll get this ready to go. All right, we've been cooking with gas today. So we got the distributor on, tighten it down, just one bolt here, because I still need to time it and all that. There's still a few things that I can't get done today. One being that water neck that needs to get welded. I need a throttle cable bracket. I kind of just plugged one of the vacuum hoses on the back and then ran this one down to the catch can. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Got everything else tightened up. All the mounts are on. Everything's tight. Fuel's on, but again, like I said, we're going to have to modify that the fuel line once we get get it running and all that, so that way we can put the intake on there. I might see if I can find another stock style one that I can use before I do a steel braided. If not, then we'll do steel braided or whatever. The only thing that's not hooked up right now, engine wise, obviously power steering, and then the AC. I wanted to get it in there and get it running, and then I need to find the proper belt for that. I don't remember what pulley is on there. I believe it's the stock b18c GSR style. But I didn't want to keep guessing and pulling that back and forth. So either way, bled the clutch. I put oil in it. I put 4 quarts of oil in the engine, 1 quart of oil in the transmission, and that is just to get it started, warm it up a little bit, and then we're going to drain that, and then we're going to put fresh oil and a fresh filter on it as well. So that's just kind of temporary to get it started. So I feel like I'm probably going to go ahead and get it primed up tonight with oil pressure, and then I'll probably pop on the injectors and plug in the distributor, make sure all that stuff works and make sure it runs, and then we'll continue on tomorrow. And yeah, should be running pretty soon. I got 1 seat in there, just the driver's seat for now, and really all I need, just to sit in there real quick, start it, and see how everything works out. So